Welcome, everyone, to the No Longer Fatherless Podcast. We have a very special guest today, one of my best friends and one of our longest tenured mentors, board member, branch manager for mortgage with Cross Country Mortgage, husband, dog dad. He does it all. Give it up for Mr. Taylor Jones.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I hate to start off with a negative, but you
Right out
have,
the gate.
yeah, I know it was some somber tone. We'll put in some sad music here. You have some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Episode 1. I don't know if you've heard of him, but it was Colt Simmons.
Oh, yeah. He's a legend. He's a legend around these parts.
It's going to be tough to follow that. So
yeah,
I hope you're prepared.
Get used to holding a microphone right here.
Here, I'll hold it for you.
I was like, how do I do it like cool? You know?
I'll just hold 2.
I like that. Okay. So, anywho's, yeah, following Colt, super big shoes to fill. I'm going to try to live up to the standard that he set.
I think you can do it.
Thank you. I appreciate your faith in me.
So what month and year did you move down to Florida? I was trying to remember.
So I moved down, it was January 3rd. It was like New Year, new me, start my life over.
What year?
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking we met at the hurricane party, but that must have been the fall of 2019.
No, I remember my trip pretty vividly. It was a life-changing trip. But it was August of 2018.
Oh, so you hadn't moved here yet when we met.
Right. Yeah. I had a man bun. And
a pumpkin cardigan.
Not yet. But yeah, Seth called me February of 2018 and was like, you got to come visit me in Florida. And I thought it was one of those things that was like, yeah, dude, I can't wait to see you. Like, I will definitely set that up. And then we wouldn't talk until it was his birthday. And I'd be like, yeah, I miss you. You got to come up. But he was persistent. He was like, when are you coming? Did you book your flight? Stuff like that. So that summer, it was August of 2018. I visited him for a week and I went home and I was like, I just felt super pulled. Like, I was like, I'm just going to move there. So pretty immediately, it was 3 months later?
Yeah.
Just goodbye to the family, quit my job, rented a U-Haul.
Were you staying in an apartment or something?
So Seth had an apartment that he let me stay in South Daytona.
I mean, in Pennsylvania before you moved?
No, I was living with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was living with my mom and I was working in the sewer.
Yeah.
So I would pop open manholes and drop a little robot in there. And that would kind of it would roll through a tank, film the pipe. And then I'd pick it up and go to the next one. And they would just put me in a hotel room in a random state, in a random town. And it was by myself in a hotel room for and I worked alone. So they would just send you out 3 weeks by yourself. And I was just trying to figure, I wasn't down on myself or I was super optimistic and looking for what's next? There was a lot of time to think there. I was like, what am I doing? Just every night, work by myself, go back to the hotel room, pray and give me a sign. What should I be doing?
Then Seth was like, hey, want to come visit?
Yeah. And what's crazy is when I look back, I wasn't always super close with my uncle, but he was super successful with dentistry and he liked playing chess and golf. And I was getting closer to him, but there wasn't really a path for me to do dentistry. And then my boss, I was trying to figure out how to be a manager. And when I look back, I realized I was maybe subconsciously just looking for some mentor to be I'll take you under my wing. I'll show you what you should be doing. And then when I visited Seth, he was yeah, I'll mentor you. And I was putting all my chips on that. So yeah.
Yeah, we just had my men's group on Tuesdays called Life is Hard. And my friend Mike shared a devotional, and it was basically about discipleship and about mentoring and accountability and having a friend that you can go to for mentoring and to keep you accountable and to encourage you and challenge you. So it's hard for men to ask for that and find that. So
Grown men need mentors too.
Oh,
You know, you always have to have like that lighthouse when you're lost at sea and you're just like, okay,
mhm.
like a guiding light. So yeah, I was looking for it. And that trip down here was basically the catalyst of when I just kind of changed my life.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's become very important to me to have friends in your corner who encourage you, hold you accountable, appreciate you. And I had a lot of bad experiences. I know you had some as well with poor friendships and people who aren't really in your corner, even though they should be. And so now, I mean, so many amazing friends in my life, including Mr. Taylor Jones.
Yeah.
We had
You are one of those guys. You always just believe in me so much. You just put me in situations and I'm like, I can't handle this. And you're like, yeah, you can. And I'm like,
you're the man.
yeah, I guess I need that. And it wasn't so much I didn't have like people supporting me. It was just so much that like I didn't align with the trajectory of I don't know, I just always felt like I was meant for like a bigger picture thing. And then I couldn't really find people that were just like, we're in this together, like let's do it. So it was more so like friendships, like let's hang out, let's grab a beer, let's watch football.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't deep.
yeah, it wasn't just like, let's I don't know. There's nothing that really compares to like moving to Florida and what I did. That was like the extreme, pretty much as extreme of a life change that you can make. So I did try to encourage some of my friends to do it with me, but.
And then 5 months after he moved, we spoke after a church service at Thrive Church. They invited me to speak on Father's Day 2019. And I always try to recruit mentors, tell them stories about NLF and share testimonies. And I was in the lobby after service trying to recruit people and have people sign up. And Taylor comes up and we talked to each other and he said, hey, I'm going to be at the mentor class tomorrow. And then now it's been 6 years.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about more information. Like I was just like, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna like learn more about that. And you were like, see you tomorrow, like 4 weeks, you're gonna get a mentor. And I was like, okay. Like that escalated quickly.
Yeah, come learn about that tomorrow in our mentor class.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
But it's weird how, and I was very much so in my own head at this time of my life because I was, sort of living alone and for really months at that point, like the hotel and all that. And I would just feel really pulled to do certain things that when I look back, I'm like, that had to be God, like pushing me in that direction. I can't explain why I knew for a matter of fact I would come home from visiting Seth and then move to Florida 3 months later. I can't explain why when you were speaking on Father's Day, I just like somehow felt super moved and like, you can do this. But I didn't really have the experience I felt I needed. Like I don't have a son or experience in that field. So I was like, am I even qualified to be a good mentor? So kind of wanted to learn more about it. And then I became a mentor and it has been incredible.
That's one thing that makes me sad when I talk with guys and about mentoring and they may say, I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified. No, you don't want me to be a mentor. And I always point to stories in the Bible with Abraham, Moses, David, Solomon, Peter, like everyone that God uses in the Bible, they clearly state their faults in the Bible to show, these are not perfect men, but with God, he can, carry us through anything and equip us. So I always try to encourage men that you don't have to be the perfect person to become a mentor.
100%. Who in the Bible do you feel like your story aligns with? You ever thought about like who you are in the Bible?
I've never thought of really who my story aligns with directly, but there's a lot of examples where, I may judge people in the Bible when I hear the story. And then after reflecting on it and thinking about it, I'm like, oh, wow, that's me. Like,
Yeah, like if they read my story, they would be judging way harder.
like when with Peter, when he denies Jesus 3 times. And then
Yeah.
you're like, man, I would never do that. But then you think about what denying Jesus is and not giving him your time or not using your gifts for his mission. And we actually do deny him all the time. It's just not as apparent as Peter in that story. So I can definitely relate to a lot of things. And I think it's Moses who they said had a speech impediment. And he was like, God, I can't lead these people. I'm not equipped for this. And he was like, just trust me. You're going to be good. And when I started speaking in public years ago, I always had a desire to do it. And I always have enjoyed writing and have been pretty good at writing. But then whenever I go up to speak, then I would sort of shut down. I'd start shaking. And so God giving me opportunities throughout the years has really helped me out and built my confidence.
Yeah. I think that's the number one biggest fear in America is public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I remember listening to like a podcast or something where it was talking about like God's greatest gifts and like all your blessings are on the other side of like what you fear the most. So it's like if you never got up and spoke,
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't really know where you would be at, but probably not. The organization wouldn't be where it's at today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you gotta be like, why am I so afraid of that? Like, what if I did that?
And you talked about, saying yes, believing God was telling you to move to Florida and accept these opportunities. And I think about that. How many times do we ignore things like that? But then also when we say yes, like it just unlocks new levels within us.
I was like desperately looking for signs at that point. Like I would, and this is, I'm not exaggerating. There were times where I'd play the radio and I would turn it off for like 5 minutes and then I would turn it on and like I would try to like see if God was sending me a sign with whatever song was playing. So like Hosier, like take me to church. I'm like, like, God, I'm listening. Yes, sir.
A bird would fly by and you'd be like, is that for me?
Yeah. Okay.
What does that mean?
Maybe I should be a bird watcher. Yeah, I was looking for signs and I don't know, came from within. It wasn't something I saw or whatever. I just felt compelled to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and one of my favorite stories about Taylor, so he moves down to Florida. He basically has nothing and he's working not so good jobs and scraping by. And in our mentoring, we try to provide some resources for our mentors, like things they can do or free passes, partnerships in the community. And we try to make it a little financial commitment for them. We don't want them to have to spend a lot of money. And when you started mentoring, I remember your grocery budget was something outrageous. Was it like $50 a month or like $20 a week?
I had a fixed income of $800 every first and every 16th of the month. So it was
$1,600 a month.
And then between my car, rent, everything I had, it was like $1,520. And I was trying to pay off that. So I had $80 for gas and groceries.
That's unreal.
Those were the only two accounted for. And if I went over, I was trying to use that as small as possible to actually like pay off $40 of debt.
Yeah.
So I would get 60 eggs and ramen. And I tried a few other things that burnt out really quick, like oatmeal.
Oh, oatmeal's old quick.
That was short-lived. I was starving and I would look at oatmeal and I'd be like, I'm not that starving, But yeah, so I lived off eggs and ramen noodles for most of that first year.
I know. It's unreal. But you still made your mentoring with Nathan work and you guys would do a lot of free stuff. You'd go to parks and play sports.
Yeah, a lot of playing outside.
Which is free.
Yeah, he was so open to just anything fun. Like anything like, let's go run around Riverwalk or, play tag, football, basketball. But it was never like, I want to go to an arcade or anything. Because then I'd be like, I can't, hold on, I can't afford that right now.
We can go to the arcade and look.
But yeah, honestly, even now when we do stuff like that, sometimes we're just like, want to play catch on the way home and we'll just play catch. And then that's the stuff I think we really enjoy playing drop. like throwing the football, trying to make each other miss and stuff. So,
And I think those are the best memories. My dad talks about his childhood and, going on big trips or, theme parks and stuff like that. But the stuff he cherishes the most and remembers the most is like just quality time with his grandpa and his dad, just doing stuff like that and hanging out and spending time together.
yeah, that's like all my favorite memories too.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad was super competitive, like always. He wouldn't like ask you like, do you want to play football? He'd be like, do you want to get beat? Do you want to get beat in basketball? Do you want to get beat in horse? So like whenever you would say stuff like that, I'd be like, no, I'll beat him. But he would always say like, if you beat me, you beat me because I'll never let you win. So there was like years of my life I was just like shooting hoops in the backyard, just like I can't wait for him to get home. I'm gonna cook him today.
I had a funny one. My dad was an athlete. He's a power lifter. He's still a monster today. But he played football and track and field and all that stuff when he was younger. So he was athletic. He was fast. And he always told me throughout my childhood that he was faster than me. And he would never race me for years. And one time we were on our farm in Miami, and it was finally the day where he agreed to race me. I think I was like 13, and I smoked him.
Oh, man. Humbling.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah. He's like, what a mistake. Yeah, my dad, his like expression almost, I heard this so many times. He would say bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
And he would challenge us all the time. And Seth was 4 years older than me. And he like prided himself on still being able to beat us and stuff. And it was like, I remember a big deal when Seth beat him in a foot race. Like that was like, he couldn't believe it. He was like trying to train to like go back and beat him and then just retire on top. So yeah, it's a very competitive household.
I'm not quite as harsh with Colt. We have some rules in place. Colt's favorite is basketball. So since I'm 6'3", I'm not allowed to block him like when we play one-on-one, which I think is a good rule. I think that's pretty unfair. He's 11. If I was just blocking every shot.
Welcome to the block party.
Yeah. So we have a couple of rules.
So
Still pretty competitive.
Yeah. I will say I guess in the same way my dad used to, I am also competitive, and I've told Nathan I'm not going to let you win. And I really, for the most part, usually never let him win. And we played pickup the other day, and he beat me in one-on-one legitimately.
Yeah.
And he was just like, did you let me win? And I was just like, I might have, gave you a shot or two, but I was winded. He was like hitting his shots. I wasn't. And I was like, you legitimately just beat me.
And he's 15 now?
Yeah. He's getting dangerous. He's getting taller. He's getting,
teenage man?
Yeah, he's got some ball handling now. So it's, I don't know. Now I'm a little intimidated.
Me and Colt played at the rec the other day. Then we were playing 2v2 against some teenagers in there. And the first game, we beat them. And then I was like, well, you guys got the upper hand now because you got cardio for days. My gas tank is going down.
Yeah. That's what beats me every time.
That's the difference.
Like, I would like take the ball out, shoot. And then if it didn't go in, I was like, no way I can chase down a rebound right now. I was so toast.
So I forgot to mention, I have some sports memorabilia and some different autographs and stuff. But my favorite piece of memorabilia is this here.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat that I have on display today for our special guest.
Iconic.
Which is autographed by Taylor and Jade Jones from their wedding.
Yeah.
It's just the best piece in my office.
I walked in here and I looked at that, and I honestly didn't remember signing up for you. I was like, who signed that?
We were signing so many autographs that night that it was just slipped your mind.
The best blur of my life. But yeah, it was just like, go here, do that. And then we were laying in bed the next day, and Jade's like, can we do that all over again? But with like, just actually enjoy like everything we put together, because it's just so much. But yeah, incredible.
Yeah, Raquel and I talk about that all the time because this year will be 12 years married, and we had an awesome wedding with a bunch of people, and we're like, man, we need to do that again. That was such a special night.
Yeah,
it's expensive though. Huh?
I was talking to someone the other day who was talking about my wedding, and I was like, I didn't want to say like, oh, you were there. it was such a blur that
Yeah.
I didn't legitimately get to talk to some of the people there.
I know you have 150 people, and if you talk to each one for a minute, that's like almost 3 hours. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
It's a good map. Yeah, I didn't think about it. It's fair. So that's a fair excuse. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no worries. So you started in Florida from the bottom, had
in the bottom.
living off eggs and ramen, and it's been 6 years, and you went from a bank teller, an assistant in real estate, an assistant in mortgage, and now you've worked your way up to branch manager of cross country mortgage.
Yes.
You have your own house, you have a rental property,
Yeah.
you have a wife,
I
you
did.
have dogs, you have horses.
You're giving me chills right now. Wow. That's me?
Yeah, that's
All right. I'm doing all right.
the amount of progress you made in 6 years is unbelievable. You got to be proud of yourself for sacrifice, hard work, dedication.
I really did get kind of chills right there. I guess I get so lost in the day to day.
Yeah.
'Cause it really is like wake up. It's such a blur every day that sometimes I forget to zoom out and really appreciate like how far I have come. But those were huge milestones for me. And the years just fly by. And I know you wanted to talk about the bucket list. I did put together a bucket list specifically because I couldn't remember what I did one year. And I worked my butt off. Every day was, there was something stressful, something I had to get done, whatever. Halfway through the next year, I'm like, I don't remember any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need like bigger milestones and bigger things I'll remember. And so that's what I've been working on.
That was such a great memory for me visiting you at what is now your rental property. You were single and you had this spare bedroom. I don't think there was anything in it. And
It's so expensive to furnish a house.
And there was a whiteboard that was like 10 feet wide, and it just had, 100 items for your bucket list?
Yeah, I think it was like 80. And some of those I may or may not interchange out.
Yeah.
Because I was I was a different man. I was so ambitious of like what I could accomplish. There's some stuff I look at now where I'm just like, that shit might have sailed. Like win an amateur boxing match. I legitimately thought everyone I've talked to was just like, that's a horrible idea. Like, what if I like cherry pick someone who like
a tomato can?
Yeah, just give me someone who will
0-40.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm okay with just giving this to you. But yeah, so there's like physical goals, financial, and then just cool experiences that if I feel like too much time has gone by where I haven't like done something memorable, I'll try to do a big item, and I have like small items on there too.
You knocked out a bucket list item today, didn't you?
Be on a podcast.
Be on a podcast.
Yeah.
Cross it off the list.
And what's funny about the bucket list is there's a lot of intimidating items on there. So you look back and you're like, okay, I have like 15 out of 80 done. But each one is a huge, like something I would be like, I can't believe I did that. Like run a marathon.
Yeah.
Speak in front of over 100 people, which I think the gala, you're really helping me with a lot of bucket list.
I'm trying.
Speak in front of 100 people. Even writing that scared me.
That's close to 200.
Yeah. It felt like it. It was double as scary. Because I was always extroverted, but I never felt comfortable speaking in front of like a large room. I guess it's just that like fear of public speaking or whatever. And I used to get anxious thinking about having to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking back and knowing I did it is like, when I see that checked off on the list, it's like this confidence boost where it's like, I did that. Like, makes you proud of yourself. And it's funny when you look at like the big milestones and you look like at your life around that, it is like crystal clear for your memory. Like you remember what you were doing the week of. Yeah, I remember what I was doing a few months before the marathon, a few weeks before speaking. The bigger ones just logs the memory. It helps you out.
What are some of your favorite that you've crossed off the bucket list?
So favorite, The thing is, like, I equally appreciate the ability to every single one. It's like, I didn't, what was it? My favorite? Like, I didn't,
Just some of them.
the marathon was awful. Like, that was not,
Cool to check it off, though.
yeah,
Terrible to experience.
yeah. So it's like some of those, like the, um, speaking in front of people, stuff like that. It's like, some of those aren't like my favorite. Like, I got to do that again.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like stuff that's kind of intimidating, where it's like, this is going to be like my overarching goal to like make this happen. Be on TV, No Longer Fatherless. I
Yep.
did that with No Longer Fatherless.
West Channel 2, right?
Spectrum News,
Spectrum.
right? Throw the first pitch of a baseball game. Nathan did. A little jelly. I was watching him do it, and I was like, God, that's my bucket list item.
We have one that's controversial.
What is that?
Catch a 10-pound fish.
Oh yeah,
You caught a stingray that was definitely 10 pounds, but it's definitely not a cool fish to catch.
I want to hold it.
Yeah, we don't want to.
I didn't hear that one. Like, I want a picture of like, so I want to put like a picture wall of like what I've accomplished on that.
Mhm.
And then there's some stuff like just experience wise, like flying a helicopter was one.
Oh yeah,
Flew in a helicopter for the honeymoon. Experience zero gravity, shake hands with a president. I just want to, get to that level at some point.
Could it be the president of like Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, Mickey. Wait, it's not Mickey. Who is it?
Chucky?
Chester?
I don't know.
Chucky. Is his name Chucky?
Or does it have to be the president?
Yeah, the president of the United States.
Current or
they have to be like an active sitting president.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big bucket list goal.
Things need to cool down a little bit. and then I feel like I'll be able to get back to where you can just casually shake hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's too much security right now.
Is skydiving on your bucket list?
It is, and it scares me, and I've thought about it a lot, and I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to skydive, but it's so scary.
Did I tell you when I ruled out skydiving for my life?
I was about to ask you if you wanted to.
So I had a friend probably like 15 years ago who was going to Embry-Riddle, and we worked together at Lowe's, and he had to get all his flight hours. And so he was like, hey, we, have to get our training hours. You should come fly with us one time. And I was like, that would be amazing. We'll go over the beach. We'll look for some sharks. So we worked it out. He invited me. We get in this little Cessna. It's like 4 or 6 passengers. Him and his training guy are in the front seat. I'm in the back, and they give us all headsets where we can talk to each other.
Yeah.
And then, so the training officer guy, teacher,
yeah,
he goes over what we're going to do for the flight. And I thought they were like pranking me. Like, this is, a joke. Let's mess with this new guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, we're going to practice steep turns. We're going to practice stall outs, and we're going to practice emergency landings. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, when are they going to,
why am I here for this?
When are they going to tell me this is a joke?
Yeah.
And so we go up to whatever, 10,000 feet. And literally they take down the accelerator until the engine cuts out, and it starts to like nosedive, and you have to save it and like put the power back up and turn the plane on.
No,
it was insane.
I've worked with enough even tools in my garage to know that stuff doesn't always start when you want it to. Like, I don't trust my lawnmower to start every time.
No.
It's like, that just seems so reckless. For what? For why? Like, why?
And then the steep turns, so they're just flying along, and then you have to go like, and then the emergency landing. So you have to, the normal landing, you cruise in, and then the emergency landing is to, make it practice for if you had to land really quick on like a short runway. So we come in steeper than normal, and there's like a crosswind, and our plane is like sideways, and the training guy is like yelling at my friend, and he's like, correct it. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm taking over. And he takes over the plane and like turns it and lands it.
How
like,
dramatic.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. So whenever you guys went up, you should have just jumped. You would have avoided all of that.
Yeah, it would have been safer.
Yeah, you would have been skydiving.
But yeah, looking down from that little plane and thinking of jumping out of it, I was like, I'm good.
I'm gonna do it
It's
one
not
day.
for me.
I'm gonna do it one day. I have to. I can't leave my bucket list unfinished. I will trade out the ones that are just reckless abandonment.
Boxing match.
Yeah, the boxing match is a
Fight.
big one. Biking a century, I really want to do that. I just like the discipline it requires to accomplish like big goals like that. And then I love how it's almost like a bit of a defining part of your year. So there's like smaller ones where you're just like, oh, that was awesome. I won't forget that. But then it's like bigger ones that are like, you look back 10 years from now, it's like, what was that, 23?
Mhm.
I think the marathon was what defined that year.
Yeah.
So
Well, you've been married 5 months now,
haven't blown it yet.
still going
We're
strong.
going strong.
Was there a moment you had when you knew Jade was the one?
Yeah, like right away. Like right when I
As soon as
saw
you
her.
met her?
Yeah.
Like, let's.
Yeah, we went to the Garlic for our first date, and and I'm gonna tell this story just because it's pretty silly. And I basically followed everything you shouldn't do when you're going on a date with someone you've never met before. So we met on Hinge, and
Shout out.
she was like way too pretty to be on Hinge, and I just thought this might not be a real account.
You're getting catfished.
She would message me back like once every 2 weeks, and I had the free account, so like you basically could only talk to like I think it was like a few people, and I was about to I was about to take over the branch. This was like halfway through 22, I think, and I erased the app. I erased all social media off my phone. I took the TV down in my living room, and I was like, I need to focus on work. And it was like a few days she didn't message me back, and I was just like, I'll try to date again when I'm like 35. Like that was like my real mentality, is like put your nose down, grind it out for like 5 years, and then you'll be in a much better position to try to date and stuff like that. And I even I messaged her. I was like, this sounds cliche, but it really bothered me because my phone was cleared out and I still had that app on my phone. I was like, sounds cliche, but can I get your phone number so I can erase this app? And I assume other people say that, but it was true. And I pretty much said, I'm going to go on a date with this girl. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not re-downloading anything. I'm not going on any other dates. And
It was a Hail Mary.
yeah, limited communication. We get to the Garlic, and she is in a black truck in one of the parking lots that she has tinted windows. And I was in like completely wrong parking lot. She didn't get out of the truck. She told me to come get into the truck. And I realized I don't know who this person is, and I'm getting in a tinted window black truck in a parking lot that was like, I don't know, it was decently far from the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if this is just like some guy sitting there who just drives away?
Oh my gosh.
You know, like I followed all the exact like guidelines of like, don't do this. And
How to
then,
get kidnapped.
yeah, yeah. Like it could have been like, that was easy. Like this guy was desperate. But yes, we went on our first date, and we clicked super well, and we ended up kissing in the ocean that night.
Wow. Magical.
It was literally like a romantic movie. Like even when she was telling her friends, she was like, that's not real life. Like stuff like that doesn't happen. And I was like, we should definitely go on another date. And she was like, we should go to the farmer's market tomorrow and get my dad pickles. And I was like, I'm available tomorrow. And then we pretty much hung out every day after that. So it was kind of like right after the first date, it was like, we're in. So I told her I left her like 2 weeks in, and then I realized I should probably wait.
I did the same thing.
I had to wait like 6 months for her to say it back. I would just try every once in a while. Love you. She'd be like, thanks. One day you love me too.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks after dating Raquel. I told her I loved her. Just I hate saying it because it doesn't happen for everybody and you don't want to give people false hope, but I just feel like sometimes you meet your person and it's just like this is the one.
I know. I was praying for that a lot too. And I met my person. Hail Mary. Total.
We got our people.
Yeah. Congrats. Look at us. I'm doing all right. So yeah, 5 months of marriage.
5 months.
A ring on my finger.
You got any lessons you've learned in 5 months that you want to share with the people?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot. I guess the biggest one is well, I guess yeah, just help out, just
That's a good one.
just don't be annoying. And if she's frustrated or moody, you can't ask someone to correct that. You can be like, hey, you seem like you're in a bad mood today. Like, try to be more positive. That goes very poorly. So, I'm learning.
Yeah, my cousin just got married this past weekend, and Raquel and I wrote him and his wife a long letter just about things we've learned in our marriage, but then more so just from training with going through premarital course, having marriage classes, and taking marriage tests and reading books, because I think that's so important to not just take your marriage for granted, even though we both say we met our people. That doesn't mean it doesn't take work and learning each other. Men and women are wired very different. So we think they're going to want the same thing or think the same thing, but that is not the case.
Yeah. I might need to take some of those classes, learn a little bit more from you.
Yeah,
besides on the job training.
Yeah, we think it's important to learn how they need to be loved, how they communicate, and our lowest score in our survey was conflict resolution, because I am very logical and want to know basically who was wrong, how do we fix it, how do we move on, and Raquel is feelings based, and what did you say to hurt me? You need to apologize for what you did, and basically whatever caused the ruckus doesn't matter. It's just about how did you make me feel.
And the fastest solution is that you're always wrong. Yeah. You always apologize.
That is definitely the fastest.
That's the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. You admit you were wrong, and then you get to the feelings.
So Raquel had a request for the podcast.
All right.
Or some of our talking points. She said, I'd like to hear what some of Taylor Jones' life mottos are.
Life motto. It has changed with the seasons of whatever period of life I'm in. And the period of, probably up until I met Jade, really, was, and I think there's a book by like Viktor Frankl. It was like A Man's Search for Meaning.
Yeah.
Is that so? And
I listened to that one on Audible.
Yeah. And I had whiteboards all over my house, and I would write quotes down. And there was a lot where it was kind of like the overarching motto is just like life is suffering. It sounds bad because I'm usually an optimistic person, but it was like a reminder to myself that like everything you're trying to accomplish isn't going to feel good. And the worse it feels, the less people are probably willing to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going to set you apart. And I had to remind myself, like, you're not supposed to enjoy every day and just be silly. And, like you have to go through a lot to be successful and to be disciplined and all that stuff. So she probably wouldn't expect that answer, but that was for a period of my life, is basically, get through it. Oh, and then now I don't really have that motto anymore. I stopped suffering. Now it's more so, man, it's funny because like I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I always have them. I'll write them down. I'll put them in my notes app, like stuff like that. There's always like a theme behind the season I'm in.
Well, your first one with Viktor Frankl, I mean, that definitely speaks to how you've lived the past 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think for anyone listening, I mean, really, there's not really an easy way to be a successful, upstanding, disciplined, like just have your life fully on track. And I would always like think about like if it's easy and you're like coasting, you can only coast if you're going downhill. If you're biking and it's like you're going uphill, trying to achieve something, it's harder. So it's the stress and like the everything I was going through was almost like a reminder, like you're going in the right direction. Um, so that really was my sort of overarching theme for a little bit.
And that's such a huge part of our world is people wanting success quickly, wanting the newest diet that's going to take off 50 pounds in a week. How do we make a successful business? But they don't want that answer.
Yeah.
They don't want the sacrifice and
Like, what's
suffer.
the
And
fastest, easiest way I can accomplish this and still be like happy and also do everything like, you know, not positive or like, you know, that's not going to work towards that overarching goal.
it might be eggs and ramen noodles for a year.
I settled into that pretty quick. I'm not a picky eater. And it was basically, I would get one condiment from Publix like that week. And then I went through some, you know, ketchup, hot sauce, and then went down just random sauces.
Or what, a hard-boiled egg?
I would try to cook eggs any possible way I could. Hard boiled, scrambled, sunny side up. I was trying to keep it somewhat new.
Little fancy poached egg.
Yeah. Well, mustard on the side, you know, something different from the last few months.
So Taylor is a super mentor for No Longer Fatherless. He's been doing it for 6 years, but he doesn't just mentor and stay quiet. He helps with our events. He's been a donor from himself and through his business, a sponsor, and now he's newly a board member. So I was wondering if you have any dreams for the future, kind of where you see NLF could be in a few years.
Yeah, a lot. I'm a big picture guy. Like I realized I'm all about like imagination and, you know, big picture goals. And sometimes I need to like surround myself with like implementers and more people that can actually handle the minutia. So whenever I look at like the big picture of No Longer Fatherless, I picture it scaling to a much larger nonprofit, much like, you know, having a facility, having an app, having, just a community of like, and there's a lot that goes into that. Obviously, we have to start with like the funding and having, you know, marketing, the media, everything that, you know, corporate sponsorships and partnerships with like, do you want to donate an extra $1 to No Longer Fatherless when you go through a drive-through?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that would take us to get there, and I'm ready to tackle that whenever you are. I get excited when I think of like the big picture of, because really the organization's goal of like, you know, solving the problem of fatherlessness isn't resolving itself. It's
Yeah.
still, and it's probably a bigger problem than anybody in America realizes unless you're like living in this world. But it really does impact like so much of how children grow up and turn out, that I just feel like it's not trending in the right direction, and we're almost going to have to like foot to the gas pedal and really try to ramp up to solve as much of this problem as we can.
You said something earlier about sort of your day-to-day grind and not always reflecting and looking at the big picture. And I'm the same way with NLF, but whenever you stop and think that we have almost 100 mentors with 100 boys, and then you add in the families, we basically have an organization of hundreds of people that we're serving, and guys in the community investing in these young men and trying to make them successful. And it really is overwhelming to think about the impact that's happening in the big picture.
In like one life, like one kid's life that changes, like, you know, you might say like we only changed one life or whatever, but to like, I forget, there was like a quote, like you can't, like sometimes you don't feel like something about changing the world, but to them, like you changed their world. So it's like you might not change the world, but one kid, like their entire world changed because of having a mentor. And really the reason I can speak to that is because one mentor changed my whole world.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
lived it.
yeah, like in the difference in the mindset and my life, like you said, is just so drastically different. In I was 25, now I'm 32, so it's like 7 years in on this journey, and I just feel like I just can't like think about what my mindset was before that, pre-mentor.
Hmm. There's a quote that I love from Macklemore, actually, in one of his songs that I just think's beautiful. He says, "Don't try to change the world. Find something that you love and do it every day, and eventually the world will change."
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good picture of what you can do.
yeah. No, I mean that's what it's all about, you know, finding what you love and figuring out how can I make the biggest impact doing this. So, and really, once you start like, you know, understanding how being successful works, money and all that, you realize like people pay to make their life, you know, easier or convenience or for help or whatever. So like the people who do run businesses and all that, like I know there's sort of like a connotation almost where it's like the rich are very selfish and all that. And it's kind of like the only way is by providing a service or a, you know, whatever you can do to help people. So a lot of successful people are the most giving, generous, like out, like, I don't know, just like helping with their community and everything like that. And then, I don't know, you just gotta do it, doing what you love so you don't burn out on the mission.
Hmm. Well, I am super excited to have you on our team, not just
Yeah,
as a mentor, but on our board where we can build out that vision and become even more impactful, not just in our area, but hopefully nationwide at some point.
globally. Yeah.
I know you'll help
Hopefully.
us get there.
Oh yeah. We'll get the, I don't even know how cool, like, it just, I can't picture having such a cool, like, community center mission goal. Like,
I know it'd be awesome.
it's amazing. It's amazing to think about.
And you've been matched with Nathan now for 6 years. So he was 9 when you started. Now he's 15.
Yeah.
What do you think his life could look like in another 5, 6 years when he's 20 into adulthood?
I think he's going to be such a stud, just wildly successful because he has drive and he's like always kind of worked for everything he's got. Like if he has like a gaming system or whatever, he's been working sometimes two jobs. And you know, they say like adversity builds character. And when you look back and you're like, you know, I overcame this, I overcame that. He's like, I feel like he's gonna come out in a great spot. And it's exciting to watch because I can even see like the shift in like his mannerisms and his goals and stuff like that. And I was trying not to influence this decision, but he's his what he wanted to be when he grew up has changed a few times. You know,
Yeah.
every kid from when they're 9 to 15 probably had like 8 different goals.
Mm-hmm.
And the most recent one was he wanted to be a real estate agent. And I was like, you want to get into like real estate sales? And he was like, yeah, and you can like teach me how to do it. And I was like, buckle up if you're serious. And what's funny is he got into he's helping his, I think his cousin or brother with his car dealership. So he's doing car sales. He's 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been a hard worker. And I don't know if that's who he is or if that's been your influence over the past 6 years, because some of the stuff he does is definitely like, that's a little Taylor running around
Yeah.
grinding.
I think we just had like a similar story. And I was like the same way. It's kind of like, 'cause I got a paper out when I was 8 years old. So it's like I started working at 8 years old. I think I talked to him about that, but I don't even know if I directly influenced it. I think he was just,
Just a good match.
I want stuff and I got to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of wired that way.
Well, I think we covered a lot. Had
Yeah.
a beautiful time with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You have any closing thoughts for us today?
You know, I'm grateful to be here. I love and appreciate you. And thank you for checking off another bucket list item for me. And so this is my first podcast. So maybe next time you want to bring me back, I'll crush it. I'll be ready to rock.
Yeah, in the meantime, we'll see how many more bucket list items we can cross off, and then we'll revisit it.
I can't wait. Yeah. Gets me excited to think about.
But you're one of my best friends. You're a superstar
Thank
mentor, a wonderful husband, the best dog dad.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you and cherish our friendship. Thank you for being here.
The feeling's extremely mutual. I don't know where I'd be without you. So appreciate it, brother.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in with Mr. Taylor Jones. Please look us up online, nolongerfatherless.org. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. Find us everywhere. Hear our stories and find out ways to support our mission. We'll see you on the next one.
Alrighty. See you guys.